Hi, I'm Gil D'Oliveira. I'm the head pro for Amundson Outdoors. I'm here to share you the innovation of Amundson with their graphite patented full reel seat that is adjustable. But first we'll explain where it all started from. Traditionally, your rods are with cork handles. The reel seat is stationary, whether you bait cast, spin fish, or you're a center pinner. The manufacturer picked the position. That position often did not coordinate with the individual, their size, to the relation of the rod and the gear they're using to find that sweet spot we call the balancing point. Okay? So when you're casting 4 or 5 hours, 8 hours, it makes a major difference, especially if you're catching a lot of big game and you're constantly fighting with the fish and you need the proper fulcrum to share the power along the ferrule of the rod. As the rods advanced, they also created, and they were aware of that situation, they also created the reel rings. Now the reel rings are adjustable, so now you can find that sweet spot. Okay. The issue is the cork that is used. The cork, you see here, it's quite dark, is well used. It shrinks, it degrades, it breaks down. Okay, and even in this case here, the cork had shrunk so much in relation to the reel rings, I actually had to put a layer of masking tape to increase the pressure when the reel rings went onto the reel seat. The issue is, under duress, when fighting or casting, they loosened. And often you'll find people who do use this will tape the rings. The issue would also be that the tape degrades the cork as you peel it off to do any other maintenance, and it was very, very unsightly. With the graphite rods, we have an extreme advantage of weight. The reduction of weight is tremendously less. The graphite is denser. It will transmit any movement from the tip of the rod down right through to the graphite, and you can feel any of the light touches that a steelhead would apply to you. In relation to the reel seat, this is your tension ring here that'll make the reel seat firm, and you can actually adjust to your comfortable position. Okay. When you're using this type of rod, which is the Strategy X3 Centerpin rod, it comes in two sizes, 11.5 foot or 13 foot. And when you're casting these long rods, especially the 13, you need to have the right fulcrum and balance to that, your arm reach and your sweet spot. Okay? Same with the center pin. Traditionally, in the old days, we loved the center pin to be at the low end, but now with the faster action rods that have a lot more power, we need to adjust, and you can go from the middle to right up to the top, and once you put the pressure on the reel seat, it is stationary. It will not move under any duress. Okay? There's another version called the Strategy X float rod. The difference between the float rod and the center pin rod, the center pin rod is designed for the West Coast. We have huge rivers, big water flow, and monstrous fish, Chinooks, salmon, and on the beach, because we use this as what we call a crossover rod, we need that long cast. So I'm easily obtaining 200 feet plus with a 13-foot rod, using very light line, 8 pounds, 10 pounds, using ultralight reels, 9 to 11 ounces. We're often casting 3/8 lures to 1/2 ounce lures and able to reach that distance completely. For the East Coast, fishing the tributaries, slower water, narrow water, you need a more flexible rod. The term in the old days used to be called the noodle rod. So the Strategy X float rod will be a 4 to 10 pound line weight, perfect for the tributaries. And again, you do have the benefit of the adjustable reel seat. On the West Coast, our rod's a little more firmer. The 11.5 foot Centerpin rod, Strategy X, is a 10 to 17 pound, and the 13 foot Strategy X Centerpin rod is a 12 to 20 pound. Both rods are rated for a 1/4 ounce weight tossing. So that means there's a lot of flex in that top half to be able to throw that light lure, okay? And a lot of meat, a lot of power in the lower half. Using an IM7 blank, we're able to keep the small ferrule, the ferrule into the narrowest position, instead of customary with lamy glass, you'd be quite thick. So the rods are lighter, more powerful. I've used these rods with -1 on purpose with no gloves. That is quite challenging, not because of the grip, but because of the cold. And not the cold transfer on the rod, it's just -1 with wet hands is cold. Normally you're fishing with gloves. I found no problem with wool gloves. I found no problem with neoprene gloves. So that concern can be put away. Go to your nearest retailer, try them out, feel the weight. You will be amazed at how you can find that sweet spot for you using the Amundson Strategy X graphite rod.